This one right here is very interesting. This one right here can be. I don't know how people are gonna feel about this, but let's see what we got. If it'll play, because the other one didn't play. It's kind of on some whatever stuff. All right, let's see what we got. What happened? What happened, y'all? Okay. Okay, so it's look like it's not playing. Okay, there we go.
Wait for it. I TSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd. I be tweaking, she get wet, she gon' wait for me. Wait for it. Wait for it. All this got up on my neck, it's our sunshine. Her my name said on the app, fuck it one time.
How y'all feel about that, people? Y'all feel like that's a hit? Let me play it again because just in case you're not knowing what to look for or what I'm getting ready to cover, let me play it one more time so you get an understanding. We'll play it again. All right.
Wait for it. I TSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd. I be tweaking, she get wet, she gon' wait for me. Wait for it. Wait for it. All this got up on my neck, it's our sunshine. Her my name said on the app, fuck it one time.
Yeah, man. I don't know if that was a good idea by Lil Yachty. Yeah, I don't think that was the wave at all. Basically, Lil Yachty decided that he wanted to use a George Floyd line in his new song, right? And I quote, put my knee on her neck. I'm George Floyd, or like George Floyd. Basically, the punchline or the line was supposed to be, put your knee on her neck and you say George Floyd. Now, Lil Yachty put that out. Did I think that was a really good bar? No, I think it was a terrible bar. I've never been a huge fan of Lil Yachty's music, but I can't be a hater. I won't be a hater. He's made success, so he has his own fan base and target demographic. But that's what he decided to put out, and that pissed some people off. It specifically pissed off George Floyd's brother. I believe there was a letter sent out from his brother to, I don't know if it was Hot 97 or the Breakfast Club, saying that, he wants the line changed immediately. And, it's disrespectful to his family. It's, it's like basically putting salt in an open wound to George Floyd's family. So was it appropriate to do that in a song? Absolutely not. And I'll give more commentary after I share what Steven Jackson had to say about Lil Yachty's line about George Floyd in the clip I just played. So I'll go ahead.
On the right thing, I'm winning. I'm just trying not to pay attention to you idiots, man. But like, it's just hard, bro. Like, Lil Yachty, bro. You've been whack, my nigga. But you think you saying George Floyd name and trying to use his name in the bar that's gonna make people like your whack ass music, my nigga? That shit weak. Y'all the only era that feel like demeaning the dead and saying that shit is cool, my nigga. It ain't. It ain't. And it's me and the whole Third Ward and the whole Houston, Texas riding behind G, man. Don't ever say his name, bro. None of y'all knew G. Nothing about him. But y'all want to say his name for clout. Put a knee up on his neck. I do joke. That's some weak ass shit, Yachty. But let somebody die in your family. We gonna do a whole skit about it and see how funny it is, bro. Cut that shit out, man. It's only you whack Sambo ass niggas that do shit like that. Stop.
Yeah, he went off. For you guys that don't know, Steven Jackson was heavily involved in the situation with George Floyd and his family. And so I get it. It was inappropriate. I don't know what it is. I remember shock rap being a thing. I'm a Nas fan, and Nas had some shock rap lines, that pissed off some religious people. But I remember shock rap was like, did they say that? But somewhere in the past, like 5 years, it's just been a trend rather than it be somebody's style. Now, I've heard Eminem say lines about Heath Ledger and Christopher Reeve after they passed away. I've heard the Meek Mill line that he said about Kobe Bryant. If you guys don't remember, he had a line in one of his songs where he said he's going down with the chopper like Kobe. And Vanessa Bryant, his widow, came out and wrote a public statement regarding her dislike for the line in the song. And I believe that Meek Mill might have apologized for that. So Lil Yachty isn't the first one, but I agree with Steven Jackson where it seems like the younger generation doesn't take respecting people's families and respecting those that are not here anymore when it comes to being creative in a song. It does seem like there's no rules or lines that people won't cross. Boundaries seem to not be a thing when it comes to disrespecting people that are not here. So Lil Yachty saying that line in a song, I don't think it was appropriate. I think it was disrespectful, and I definitely understand Steven Jackson's point. Me personally, I've done music for over 20 years, okay? And there are a lot of lines I rewrote because it's like I don't want it to sound bad. Some lines, now that I think about it, weren't that bad, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't offend anyone. And I just think that the more time goes on, it definitely seems like a lot of the youth don't have a respect for a lot of anything that's traditionally been respected. And what I mean by that is, you know, in the 80s and 90s, when I would say the golden years of hip hop, 80s and 90s, a lot of the older generation couldn't understand it, thought it was a fad, and thought a lot of things about it was destructive and disrespectful. And I understand why they felt that way, even though that's not true. As far as it being a fad, it wasn't a fad. Hip hop is still here. But the thing was the vulgar parts of hip hop, the cussing and the sexualizing and things like that is what people thought made hip hop controversial. Now it's evolved into this thing where we're not going to respect anything. We're not going to respect children. We're not going to respect people's children. We're not going to respect people's relatives that are no longer here. We're not going to respect people's conditions or anything. And I think it's kind of sick. I think it's weird. I don't know. I know where it came from. I'll explain to you guys where it came from in my theory. But it's not a good look for hip hop. Hip hop is the only genre of music that gets that disrespectful. So I do disagree with that. Now, where it came from, the reason why you have so many people, why it's so prevalent for these artists to do these shocking things and say these shocking things in their songs is, number one, it's for clicks. They know that social media is going to get a hold of something that they did that was disrespectfully crazy, and it's going to elevate their name. It's going to elevate whatever they got going on. It's going to get people talking, right? But where it really came from, in my opinion, is battle rap. Battle rap was no holds bars. You could say whatever you want. There might have been a couple rules depending on the venue where they talked about, hey, you know, your family, your mom, your grandmother, your son, your daughter, your people that are not here. Battle rap is still to this day something that is really, really, really disrespectful. You really want to hear some disrespect, go listen to Arsenal. I mean, that's literally his catchphrase, or I'm sorry, his reputation in battle rap, the most disrespectful battle rapper. And I think he's had that title for quite a while. And so somehow the culture of battle rap is now spewed into commercial music, where now people say things that are just extremely disrespectful and hurtful to those that aren't even participating in that category or in that career field. So I definitely agree with Steven Jackson. I think Lil Yachty should take the lyric out of the song, and I think he should do that not because of Steven Jackson. I think he should do that out of respect for George Floyd's family. George Floyd has had some controversial things said about him, but fact of the matter is the man is not here anymore to provide for his family or defend himself. And I think under those circumstances, you should be respectful, you know, to the people that are not here anymore. And even if you don't respect, let me tell you guys something. If you guys have a dislike or a disdain for somebody that's not here anymore, you could care less that they're not here anymore. Have the respect and dignity to respect the people that do love them that are here anymore. I'm sorry, but everybody in that gangster culture is whack. You know, we're starting to see it the older we get as millennials and other generations. And just stop with the disrespect. I mean, especially with somebody like him, where the whole world watched this man pass away. So I think that's trash that Lil Yachty did it. I'm on Steven Jackson's side with that whole conversation. But yeah, I think that's crazy. Come on, y'all could do better. Now, this next one that I want to get into, I'll leave your comments in the chat. I forgot to tell you guys that. Please, your opinions on these topics. I'm definitely into what you guys have to say. That's why I go live. I want to interact with y'all. I want y'all to interact with me or us when I have my co-host on. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the back and forth, or basically the message Steven Jackson has for Lil Yachty with saying the disrespectful George Floyd line.